Hello.
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 Sean ruined it. This is the Weekly Sizzle. We are back for another week of the Weekly Sizzle, the franchise industry's #1 rated online news program, as rated by 1851.
We're not biased.
Not biased. So this week, just like last week, we're going to talk about the 8 most important things going on the website. And this week, Nick Powles, I'm joined by Megan and Sean. We're lucky to have Sean here this week. As always, those of you who are big fans of Sean, he'll be signing 8x10s immediately following the end of this program. So let's kick it off. So the first story, and Sean, I'm going to pass this mic over to you. Give us some thoughts. Top players in franchise development. You want to talk a little bit about this issue and obviously some of your experience with some of the folks that you've worked with in franchise development.
Yeah, I think even today's was Paul Pickett with Wild Birds Unlimited, who has done a terrific job with a brand that's been around for a little while and a retail brand that you wouldn't think could experience the type of growth that they are. And he's done a fantastic job. And I think it's because he talks about in the article about his passion for the business and passion for his franchisees. And it's really about not just selling franchises, but it's just really putting people in business. And I think when you go with that type of approach, it takes the selling feel out of it and it becomes more of educating and informing candidates. And I've experienced that that's the best way to really grow brands is to come across with presenting information and looking for the right types of franchisees versus just trying to sell franchises. So that's the one that went today. And so Megan, Nick, any other comments?
We'll go ahead and advance to number 2. Sean's a newbie on the 8 things that are most important in franchising, so I'll go ahead and lead it. Megan, you obviously covered some of these folks, and we've talked about optimism. How positive are the folks that are selling franchises feeling as we're turning into the tail end of the year?
Well, I want to talk about Paul Pickett again, even though we just talked about him. But I think there's just something really inspirational about his approach to franchise development. He came from this ornithology background, and so he went into it loving birds. And I think when you carry that passion in, it kind of trickles down to everybody else in the system. And I feel like as long as you have that fire and that passion, that you should just have every reason to believe that your brand's going to thrive. And I think that's what's really incredible about what they have going on at Wild Birds Unlimited.
Yeah, I would imagine even with Sean's background interacting with a Paul Pickett out there in the franchise world, everybody seems to echo those same statements that he is one of the true good guys. So I'm glad we were able to feature him in this issue. Number 3, we have a trending story, Lauren Mormon's column, Can Women Please Stop Saying I'm Not a Feminist? Anybody want to comment on that? Megan?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a general misunderstanding about what the word feminist means, but at its core, it simply means that you want equal rights for women and men, and I think it's morphed into something much greater than that, and so oftentimes people aren't willing to associate themselves with that label, and it just seems kind of silly because shouldn't every woman want those things?
I think it's a good point, and it's nice that we have content that isn't always just franchising. Sometimes we get heavy on franchise news, but it's good to have fair and balanced content on our site, and that's another good piece that's on there. Sean, I'm going to turn to you for number 4. We have a story that came out of the Wall Street Journal about senior care franchises booming. You came from the senior care industry, previously working at Brightstar. Do you want to talk about why now, or has it always been this way? It just seems like it's not slowing down.
Well, if you just look at what's happening in our society now with people living longer and advancement in medical technology, is posing a new problem for people and what to do with the aging population. So I think it's going to be a continued trend. I don't see that going away. I mean, it's going to remain that way because those type of needs people are experiencing. Plus, families are, you have dual husband and wife working, and so taking care of seniors is going to be more challenging. So I think you'll continue to see that, and you'll start to see additional brands like Caring Transitions, where now they're helping with not just the care of seniors, but also moving, and then also helping them with estate sales and so forth. So you're going to see a new trend that's non-traditional senior care, versus what you think of with just kind of either home care or medical care. And you're going to start seeing some brands coming down the line that provide some services there.
So the industry will keep becoming more innovative and more businesses will be born out of it. Another great story for you guys to check out. Famous Toastery, we have a story about their growth. The better breakfast category continues to be hot. That's one to pay attention to. On the brand pages specifically, if you go to buffalowingsandrings.1851franchise.com, you'll see an undercover boss reflection story. The CEO was on local television talking about his experience and the fact that it was Emmy nominated. So go to buffalowingsandrings.1851franchise to see that one. Another story that's on one of our brand pages is Two Men Truck, same URL, twomentruck.1851franchise.com. And you'll see a story in the Times Herald where their staff actually saved a woman who collapsed. So people doing good deeds and constantly trying to do better. That has nothing to do with the business, just human goodness. And lastly, Megan, I'll ask for your thoughts, and then Sean on yours on this one. QSR Magazine put out a story that Kellogg's Cereal Cafe in New York City has launched successfully. We've seen other cereal type brands. Thoughts?
I mean, I like cereal, so I can certainly get behind that concept.
Okay. Sean?
It's different. I'm not a cereal fan, so let's see what happens.
We will cereal what happens. All right, bad jokes next week. This is the Weekly Sizzle. Thanks for watching us, and we'll continue to find your great stories. Take care.
Bye.